This is me, and this is Nicole Kidman. It all seems so long ago. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. It's beautiful.
It's funny to walk in and see you after so long with all these cameras.
Nicole Kidman is one of the most famous women in the world.
Yeah.
Still the same?
Oh, very chic.
Well said.
But to me, Nicole will always be the girl next door.
It is great to see you. And who would have thought,
What are you
all
gonna
those years
say?
ago where we chatted over the back fence, that we'd be now sitting opposite each other in Hollywood?
Who would have thought, actually? Yeah.
Nicole and I grew up as neighbours in the Sydney suburb of Longueville. My sister Annette was and remains one of her closest friends. Even back then, Nicole loved the spotlight.
We used to have those concerts in the backyard.
Yeah,
Do you remember them?
Yeah, of course.
And what role did you play?
Like, what would I play? Every role?
Star, producer, director.
But the good thing was we would charge the adults, right? But not much, 5 cents.
5 cents, I was the ticket collector. Occasionally I got a trombone
We never
solo.
had much of an audience, though.
But our parents were in the audience then.
Yeah.
And to this day, your parents are still in the audience now. They're at the Oscars or on their red carpet or the Golden Globe.
Reluctantly a little, I mean, I must say. I do have to. I called Mum and Dad when I was nominated for Moulin Rouge. And I said, oh, I've been nominated. I can't believe this. And my mum said, oh, we won't be able to come. We're going on a bushwalk for 2 weeks. Coincides exactly at the same time. Sorry.
It's that very Australian brand of self-effacing humour that has kept Nicole grounded throughout her journey from Longueville to Hollywood.
Look, a lovely smoggy day.
And what a journey it's been. Nicole Kidman has achieved the success she dreamed of, but never really expected.
I think the worst thing that can happen with success is that you get frightened, is that you don't just live your life, try things, be willing to fail, be willing to get back up again. And if it doesn't work out, then you're just going to have to, somehow you'll pull through. And I think so much of it is, that applies to my work, it applies to everything.
Nicole honed her craft in local miniseries. But it was her appearance in the thriller Dead Calm that first attracted the attention of Hollywood.
I was a drama queen.
Back then, in 1989, Nicole spoke to 60 Minutes' Mike Munro as she considered her first international offers.
How are you going to handle it years down the road if you do become a big name and you are on a pedestal?
Really badly. I don't think I'll handle it very well. I mean, I don't know, I can understand people suddenly becoming like hermits. I can really understand that. I suppose I'd go along that road more so if that ever happened to me.
Become more reclusive?
Yep.
You really are a genuinely shy person, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, still. Like, I was invited to a party even last week and they said, you know, and just come along. And I was like, well, I don't think I can just show up by myself. And I called a friend and said, are you going to go? And she said, oh, no, I'm too busy. And I thought, well, then I'm not going. I couldn't ever just walk into a room by myself. And, yeah, but that's just who I am. And I'm much better than I used to be.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I won't even, like, I hate calling somebody on the telephone that I don't know. That's just like...
Yeah, but how do you think they'd feel on the other end when you said, oh, hello, it's Nicole Kidman here, I need my gas fixed?
I've had it where people said, are you joking? You're who? You're joking. And they think it's someone playing a trick on them. I go, no, it really is me.
We are underway.
For such a shy person, her first American movie, Days of Thunder, made her very public property.
How could you ignore me like that? I wasn't ignoring you.
On the set, she met and fell in love with the biggest movie star in the world, Tom Cruise.
I wasn't ignoring you. I gave you a very thorough physical.
Everyone said to me, you're too young to get married. And I, of course, being willful and stubborn, went, no, I'm in love, I'm getting married.
During their time together, Nicole's career came second. She took the occasional role, but largely she was content to be Mrs. Cruise.
And you were married for 10 years, so
I was with him for 11. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong.
Extremely happy in that period of time.
Yeah.
And at the same time going, gosh, I wonder if I will ever get to be creatively satiated. And if I'm not going to be, well, then that's okay, because I can live, you know, with him and see all of that from a distance. And that made me very happy.
But when their marriage broke up, Nicole once again immersed herself in acting and sought solace from her family.
But you're very public in your connection with them, which I find really beautiful. You don't see that with a lot of stars.
No.
What impact and what advice have you harnessed as you tread the stage, so to speak?
I think for one, I've seen a marriage work. I've seen over 40 years of marriage. And I've seen the ups and downs of it, and I've seen the beauty of it and the love and the strength of it. So that is something that you just watch, that you're privy to as a child. And then I've also, my mother would always say, don't ever let anyone break your spirit, which I think I didn't quite understand. She said, you can be tamed a little, but they mustn't break you.
Today, she's seen as one of the most beautiful women in the world. But growing up in suburban Sydney, she felt as gawky and insecure as any teenager.
There were times when I was deeply unhappy as a child, just with who I was. I think a lot of children are like that. I hated walking on the school bus. Remember? The school bus, you'd have to get on and walk down the aisle and everyone would stare. And that, to me, I mean, it's still the equivalent. You never change from what you were at school. All of those things that you had going on at school, just you carry them with you.
You haven't changed. You haven't changed. Maybe you've got a whole lot better, because I used to tease you a lot.
You did. You used to tease Annette and I and get us in trouble. You'd be like, don't you do that.
I remember catching you and Annette in my parents' bedroom
smoking. Very bad.
And throwing
but
the cigarette butts.
Yeah, no, terrible. But thank God my mother beat into me not to smoke, you know.
So what do you think? Do you want to be a famous actress?
An actress?
Yeah.
She's won an Oscar and 2 Golden Globes. But if there are any doubts that this Australian girl has conquered the United States, this should put them to rest.
Guess what? I'm a witch.
In her latest role, she takes on an American institution, Bewitched, and the twitching nose of Samantha Stevens.
So you know what I'm going to ask you next?
Uh-oh, what? to twitch my nose.
How do you do it? I've been practising all day.
You start with the lip.
Oh, the lip?
Yeah. It actually starts in the lip, because I would have a mirror and I'd put her in slow motion, Elizabeth Montgomery, and I would watch her, how she could do it, and that's how she did it.
So it was that technical?
Yeah, it had to be. It's a little tricky.
Well, give it to me.
It's not very good.
It was very good.
I have to practice more.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman's life may seem magical, the girl from Oz who made it in Hollywood.
Thank you so much.
But believe it or not, in some ways, she'd love to turn back the clock.
My whole life I've wanted to make my mother proud.
I yearn for things, and I struggle with, I'm not going to have the life that my parents had. I'm just not. Even though I've craved it, I've tried to create it, and for whatever reason, that isn't a part of my makeup. And
is that because
only now do I say, okay, so you have this unusual existence, and it's not ever going to be, you know, living in the house that, like my parents did, in Longueville,
and chatting over the back fence
with the fork, yeah. which I still kind of inside me go, oh, that's where I need to be headed. Yeah, I don't know how to find it. Yeah. Now I feel like I'm in some weird therapy.
What, you're on the psychiatrist couch?
Yeah.
Now listen here, Nicole.
Yes.
Spill it out for me.
I get a lot of advice from a lot of people.
Well, I'm not here to give you advice.
No, well,
but
I take it. I can hear criticism, and I can hear you know, I'm more than willing to hear a number of things about myself.
Well, you know, every magazine would have you have dinner with a man and you're getting hitched.
Yeah, but it's why I purposely have dinner with a lot of men. Now I'm being provocative. No, but I mean, because I do believe that men and women can be friends. I mean, they just can. It does not have to suddenly be a romance. It's not sudden, you know, it doesn't have to be you're together. You can actually have extraordinary friendships.
You're allowed to.
I don't, run away from doing it.
But
I never comment on it.
I'll get the message.
I'm ready to. No, but I mean, in terms of discretion,
yeah,
a little mystery never goes astray, right?
And there's a nice little bit of mystery about you still.
I hope so.
I've watched Nicole's life and career from afar. She's never chosen a safe role nor the easy path, both on screen and off. From her earliest days, she's given it her all, while still remaining true to herself.
I don't see myself as a part of Hollywood. I see myself as somebody who wants to tell stories, that wants to work with people that I admire or find fascinating.
I wonder if you can actually ever get a good footing in life when you are so intense that you live this gypsy existence. And
well, at the same time, you know, I don't mind listening to a little opera and making some pasta and kicking back, I got to tell you.
Hey, that's good.
I love that, Sunday afternoon. So, La Traviata.
What sort of time?
A little red wine. Let's go.
So if I pushed forward, say, 10 years, will I have a date with you to interview the movie star again, or would I be interviewing perhaps part-time actress and something else?
I could be living barefoot and pregnant on an island somewhere, or I could be, you know, still continuing along this path. I don't know. That's what I learnt during my divorce. You don't know. The thing you think is all carved out and set in stone, and you can predict where you're going to be when you're 80. That just doesn't happen, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. So you can dream, you can hope, you can try to magically conjure up, you know, what it's going to be. But at the same time, there's just the reality, isn't there? Which is kind of frightening and beautiful.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9 Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.